Uh-oh. Trouble. Black Power. It's the General Sarah Seti, and I'm black at y'all ass again with this real fucking talk. I'm in the house. Come on in. Come on in. You know what? Hey, it's funny than a motherfucker. Cause I just went over there to the other see I thought the Mayan one was the one coming on after that. And I looked and all I seen was three motherfuckers. I said, wait a minute. I know my family ain't playing me like that. Three motherfuckers? Man, I ain't never fell off like that. Ever. I say, whoa. I was gonna talk about niggas today. I say, what? Three motherfuckers? That hurt my motherfucking feelings for. I say, wait a minute. Nigga, this is General Sarah motherfucking Seti. I know goddamn well y'all niggas ain't gonna do me like that. What's up, family? Black Power, I'm in the motherfucking house, going stronger than ever. You understand what I'm saying? You see that right there? You see that right there? Rule number one, I'm always right. See back for rule number two. See back for rule number two. You see what that shit? See the front, nigga. See the front. See the motherfucking front. I'm always right, nigga. Straight up. Running tail somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm always right. Even when I'm wrong, nigga, I'm so close to right, nigga just say he right. He right. You know, I just feel like, I got so many, videos that's coming forward, man. It's going, man, this whole year. I got so many avenues, so many portals that I want to go down. I swear to God, this shit gonna be a roller coaster ride for the African mind. You know what I'm saying? Going into a whole lot of areas. You know what I'm saying? That you never ever thought we would ever go in. You know what I'm saying? So stick with me, family. I've been brainstorming. Shit, I got about 10, 15 new ones I got, lined up. I ain't gonna blur them out right now, but most definitely I'm gonna put, two more up tonight. And y'all got to understand, I'm gonna be going back and forth from the General Seti YouTube page to the Sarah Seti YouTube page. And them the two-man riot of YouTube, you understand, guaranteed to elevate the mind every time you come on here. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my monitor up. Today, I just want, because I hear motherfuckers still throwing that dumb shit out. You know what I'm saying? I hear people talking about the Mayan pyramids, and we done blew a hole, but you come around that motherfucker spraying, and niggas ain't learned. So you got to turn that motherfucking corner one more again. Got to come around that motherfucker one more again. Laying them down. You know what I'm saying? Not a problem. You know what I'm saying? Quit. And come to the one that want all the smoke. No, quit going to them little niggas that, nigga, I can freestyle, a brutality on your ass. You know what I'm saying? I could freestyle a brutality on your ass. So all you need to do is just come to me and nigga, I want all the smoke. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sick of this. You know what I'm saying? It's so, it's so belittling to our people in this day and age of scholarship coming behind so many great scholars to be, on such a low level. You understand? Talking about the Mayan pyramid, but see, that's for little niggas that ain't been. You understand what I'm saying? I done been to, I don't even like, running it down on niggas, but I will just to let niggas know. You know what I'm saying? I done been to damn near 20 different pyramids on the planet. You understand what I'm saying? Damn near 20. 20. You understand what I'm saying? Doing heavy research, not going like no looky-loo nigga who just for the first time in his life, you know, just showing up at the pyramid and all the nigga could do was say, wow, wow. Nigga, when I was up there, nigga, I was already out there with notes. First time I showed up, I was out there compiling thick ass notes and shit, you know, taking thousands of pictures. You understand what I'm saying? So I didn't go over there playing no game. So, you know, most of you niggas got to go to one of them Peckerwoods to get a reference. I am the motherfucking reference. Once you start doing, you know, field research, you don't need no motherfucking except the master teachers that put you on the path. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, we got to keep busting, you know, because it's so obvious. And we're going to work out where these Negroes got their information from. You understand what I'm saying? Steadily using these Caucasoids for references. You know, main reference. Now, you could throw one in there. You understand what I'm saying? Because we understand a lot of our family got crackatosis. You know, and you need a cracker. You understand, to put in there, you know, or the nigga won't, you know, but if you throw the white boy on in there, you know, that might jar his motherfucking mind to where, you know, he can accept, you know, and that's how some of you Negroes is. You got crackatosis. You know what I'm saying? Chronic crackatosis. And acute and severe niggeritis. You understand what I'm saying? On a serious level. Let me get this going. Let me get my monitor up. Because I'm going to be going hard by it, you know? Now, I know we went over a lot of information previous weeks ago. You know, when I was cracking the so-called aboriginals, you know, and this, that, and the third. And see what they do, because they can't fight me intellectually. They put up, you know, one nigga put up there, me versus Sa. I don't even know what the nigga name, don't even give a goddamn. Take me versus Sa. No, nigga, don't go get no goddamn. You can battle. Go get your leader. Don't give me the Indian with the one feather. Get me the Indian with all the feathers in his head and bring his ass on over here. Don't fake like you debating me. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't take my name. All you niggas do is, you know, put my name and Pharaoh name in your videos and shit. This, that, and the third, nigga. That's truly, you know, bitch made. You know, I don't even want you to do, you know, clout and that's bitch made. If you want to throw blows, nigga, just show up. Be a man, nigga. We could get busy. But don't break. See, you know you's a little nigga. And you know I would never, ever, 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 ever give you an opportunity because you ain't ranking, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You can't fight the champion unless you the number one contender. And so I need the number one contender to show up and let's get this shit going on. And let me go and put your ass in the casket because it's necessary, you know, to try to steal the legacy of Mother Africa. You understand what I'm saying? And give it over to some fictional goddamn Europeans, Caucasoid, Negro Indians, and all of this shit. We know the origin of these fake theories. We got, not only is they so fake, we done compile Europeans that said it's fake. And we don't need the Europeans to say that it's because we know it's fake based on our own independent studies. But just to show you that even a lot of Europeans ain't going for that. They ain't going for that. They ain't going because they know it's bullshit. And the white boys that created that shit is being ostracized in academia, which ain't too much to, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, when you ostracized by your own family, you understand what I'm saying? And, you know, you already know something is seriously wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I had to give me something warm, you know what I'm saying? Before I get off into this. Now, are the Mayan pyramids older? Now y'all know I'm coming on right after that with the Nubian explosion. And they correspond. You know, because a lot of times, and I'm gonna show this shit is gonna be so, and I want y'all to write, and I don't want you to just sit up here and be mesmerized, because I know I could do that. I know I could do that to a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Be just like the little, you know, the cobra and shit, you know, you know information because it's right in the zack, and a nigga will just sit there and shit and that's all right. But you know, it's key to be writing, you know, because writing draw areas of the mind that only writing can do. If you want that shit to profoundly, it's like a recorder. And when you write that shit down, your mind is most definitely recording on a level that at no other time of learning will it record on that level. That shit will stay deep, 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 deep down in the mind when you're writing it down. You see what I'm saying? That's why you see the great God Tahuti. You understand what I'm saying? Up there on that scroll, writing it, because it's most definitely one of those sciences, you know, that's so profound, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to even developing the mind. Because once you record it and write it down, the mind already gonna be evolving and shit, even when you sleep, even when you ain't thinking about it. And then you wonder why, bam, you after you write that shit down and you come back a day or even not even a whole day, in the middle of the day, another idea pop up, boom, because it was already recording and you didn't even know it was recording. So write that shit down, connect your thoughts all the time. We talking about that program. You know what I'm saying? Separate your different subjects and, you know, get your hardcore notes, rewrite them. You know what I'm saying? If the notebook get too goddamn, you know, out of order, just rewrite the whole guy and update your notes. That's how I do it. That shit stay in the mind. If you see, that's how I get down. See, I'm a serious scholar. That's what I do. I get my notes and I'm always rewriting them because I like to see my shit fresh. You see what I'm saying? When I get, you see this? You see this? Listen, I'm going to tell motherfuckers, for real. I don't know no motherfucker that write more than me. I'm just going to be real. You understand me? If I showed y'all how many of these motherfuckers I got and how many note cards I got, you understand what I'm saying? I'm just talking about goddamn luggages or that goddamn notes and shit. You know what I'm saying? I just go down there and just, you know, just grab just whole goddamn stacks of goddamn note cards. It could be 1,001, and I probably got 1,000 goddamn stacks and shit. Okay, this the medal now. I might got about 3,000 stack notes on the goddamn, you know, when I use my note cards, those daggers. That's one, every motherfucking note card is a dagger. Boom. You know what I'm saying? I don't got to go no further than that. Boom. So that's my debate. When I get ready to debate, I go to my note card. Now, this is my blueprint. This is the overall. When I'm looking, this is like when you're in the airplane, you're looking down and shit. You got to see the whole blueprint, bombing, all the motherfuckers that you bombing. So this is like an overview. You understand that you make sure you hit all the necessary subject. And then each necessary subject, I got just tons of note cards. And shit, okay, we dealing right there with Champollion. Let me get that Champollion stack. Motherfucker, 500 stack. Boom, boom, boom. Go in there and type it all in. You see what I'm saying? And so don't ever think that I'm not like no other nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Believe that. Motherfucker say, Seti, why you ain't wrote book? Motherfucker, because I ain't done yet. You know what I'm saying? I could write a little trivial fucking book. But goddamn it, when I put my shit down, motherfuckers gonna be back from 3,000 years from now. Say, goddamn it, give me one of them settings. Straight up. He'll get a nigga together. Okay? So again, today we dealing with, are the Mayan pyramids older than the ancient Egyptian pyramid? And we should just easily, we could easily through chronology, you understand, and just look at the level of technology. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm gonna tell you something about and people's all over the world, because they know we done mastered a lot of action. And so what they do, like the term pyramid, you understand what I'm saying? They use the term so fucking loosely, but you have to stay true to the geometrical definition of a pyramid. You understand what I'm saying? And we're going to get off into that. And so only in Egypt and Nubia have they ever built pyramids. You know what I'm saying? That, built on a square, you understand, smooth on all sides, coming up to an apex. You understand what I'm saying? And each side is a triangle unto itself. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at all these other fictional structures that they call in pyramids, They loosely using the term because in reality, the only continent that ever built true pyramids is in Africa. Okay? So we must be clear about that. Okay? And that's what I say. You got this, and there's a reason why. Because if you're talking about pie and shit, you know what I'm saying? You can see that in the Egyptian pyramids and the Nubian pyramid. You're not going to see no pie in no goddamn, no makeshift, all that. You're not going to see that. We're talking about, geometric, correctness. You know what I'm saying? To where you can put the goddamn square pyramid and you could use the pi formula and see that pi, and we'll go over that. Is in the Egyptian pyramid. You're not going to find that geometric and mathematical calculation in anything that is not using true geometric definition of the term pyramid and square. If you loosely and see, that's crazy, because if you go into geometry class and if you would use that shit that y'all calling a pyramid, that they call pyramids around the world, and bring that shit into geometry class and say that that's a pyramid, you would fail. If you being true to geometric, rules, rules of the triangle and pi. You see what I'm saying? And so that's facts. That ain't to be, taken lightly. That's facts. Okay? And and today I'm just warming up because, studying the American pyramids. See, we don't understand, number one, these are not freestanding buildings. We don't understand that these are dirt mound supported structures. I'm going to say that again. These are dirt mound supported structures. Once you go into the inside of the motherfucker, you see it's a dirt mound. Even when you go out there, you know what I'm saying, to the goddamn so-called ziggurats and all of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Mud fucking structures. And so that shit, you know what I'm saying? Over the course of time, the motherfucker just melted. You see what I'm saying? Just melted. Okay, so when you go to Africa and you go to Nubia and you go into Egypt, you see? And a lot of times they don't even understand. And this is why I had to come with the Nubia right behind it to show you all of what is Egypt come out of Nubia. How you gonna claim Egypt unless you gonna claim Nubia? You understand what I'm saying? That's so goddamn. So they thinking they slick that the Egyptians. No, they didn't all that. What you see in Egypt was first in Nubia before there was an Egypt. And we're going to show all of that, what they won't show. You understand what I'm saying? And, and never will show. We have to force these, the information out here so people can see this. And so when we talking about, like I said, the Mayan, you can't even discuss the Mayans. You can't even discuss the Mayan. Even Chulu, what's the name of this pyramid that we're going to be discussing? Where's that pyramid at? Because I got some powerful information today. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it all, working on both of them all day. So you know what I'm saying? It won't be no lack of explosive information today. You see what I'm saying? Well, where is that at? Okay. Where is that at? Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And I just want to warn y'all, I don't want to just jump straight off in it, but I ain't going to take long. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to give African no goddamn credit. You understand? With the most extraordinary structure, you even got where they got certain dirt mounds, you know what I'm saying, that they saying is bigger than the pyramid in ancient Egypt. And see, that's so, in a way that just, you know, where you actually gonna conceive that a dirt mound, even though it got some masonry on, and I can't even say it's masonry. You know what I'm saying? These is not, you know, evenly cut blocks. You know what I'm saying? They're using a lot of mortar, you feel me? With a lot of jagged, any kind of rock that they could put in the shit, you know, which I'm gonna show. You know what I'm saying? So this is not even really masonry. Because when you're dealing with masonry, you dealing with granite, you dealing with stone. You understand? When we're gonna show the Africans with the rulers, they making geometrically even bricks and blocks. You know what I'm saying? Well, these peoples are just slapping mortar around the damn dirt mound, and then it get labeled as a fucking pyramid. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's so deceptive for these Negroes to keep saying that the Americans have larger. No, they don't. First and foremost, they do not have pyramids. Okay, we're not talking about no fucking dirt mound supported structure. And I'm gonna say that again. A dirt mound supported structure is not a fucking pyramid. When you go to Africa, you're talking about a freestanding, granite, stone, which is masonry. You understand what I'm saying? You know, constructed on a square for the foundation and even on all sides, you understand, coming up into an apex. You see what I'm saying? Which is a point. Smooth on all sides, even that. A pyramid is smooth on all sides. That's also true. You understand what I'm saying? That's why after our brothers, you know, constructed the pyramid, they put that smooth, you know, casing, outer casing on the pyramid. You understand what I'm saying? Coming all the way up to a gold apex. You understand what I'm saying? So nowhere else on the planet, when you're talking about the level of masonry that's on the Great Pyramid and many more of the other pyramids, you know what I'm saying? You talking about literally the first fucking level, and it's almost, the Great Pyramid go up 40 stories. Now you can look up how many 40 stories buildings in your motherfucking town. Some niggas ain't. I was looking on again on YouTube for the tallest buildings in every state. And to be real, listen to me, seriously, it's a lot of states in the United States that don't even have a fucking 40-story building. That's real talk. You see what I'm saying? That's real fucking talk. So the pyramid in many cities in America will be the largest damn building in that city. You understand what I'm saying? And I think it's very unfair if the goddamn structure then fell down or been reconstructed. That's another thing that we have to look out for. And I'm going to show that many of the so-called structures of America, even in fucking Iraq with the ziggurats and shit, have been reconstructed. And I got a lot of images that I'm gonna show you what they look like when they first went in there. You understand what I'm saying? And it's very profound that we get ready for this. And then once I expose, and I'm gonna expose again and again and again and again, because we have to set these landmines up for the, you know, so every time, not just one video, just landmines. You know what I'm saying? Each time I'm gonna come with some new information, but each time them niggas go out there, the family can come on the internet and just hit, you know, multiple videos dealing with the subject from various ways, coming to the very, you know, sound conclusion that Africa is the epitome of all world civilizations, never to be surpassed by any that have ever stepped on the planet, not even coming close, okay? Egypt in its basic level is still profoundly greater than most all civilizations on the planet in its basic level. Okay? Now, let's start. Where does said he want to start? Let me go on up here. Let's deal with the facts. Let's deal with the facts. Let's do this. Okay? Because first and foremost, matter of fact, let me go on share. Let me go on share. Let me put this noob in and let me go to work. Let me go to work. Oh shit. Let me share my page. Let me share my page. I got to get people used to me being over here on the general setting. But that's all right. It ain't going to take long because these motherfucking videos going to be popping. This motherfucking video is going to be popping. And they're going to want to be in the house for this shit. Nah. Let me get ready to blast off on this Caucasoid. Crazy looking Caucasoid. Okay? Now, this is one of the fathers of Mayanism, okay? Because we deal with that. You know, Mayanism exposed. And I got some more information, you know, that I'm going to bring up on it, okay? Augustus Le Plongeon, okay? Now, he was a French-American photographer, amateur archaeologist, and I emphasize amateur. I emphasize amateur, antiquarian and author who studied the pre-Columbian ruins of America, particularly those of the Mayan civilization on the northern Yucatan Peninsula. While his writings contain many controversial notions that were not well received by his contemporaries and were later disproven, and that's clear, was later disproven, Le Plongeon left a lasting legacy in his photographs documenting the ancient ruins. He should also be regarded as one of the earliest proponents of Mayanism. So when you hear these Negro pens, okay, over here, these Aboriginal Negroes who speak that the Mayan pyramids are older than the Egyptian pyramids, what they actually spewing from their mouth is Mayanism, okay? And then this is the father, and we're gonna get deeper off into it. Now, what I got for the family is a video. I want y'all to listen because, you know, it's some information in it. It's a short video on this man and one of his another author, James Churchward, which I done brought out many times before. When I cracked the Moors, I brought it because he's one, he done wrote so many books on Mu. You understand what I'm saying? And Mu is very significant in Mayanism because it is, you know, this mythological land, just like Atlantis, is supposedly the forerunner to the Mayan civilization. So supposedly this mythological landmass of Mu with a high technology that no other, you know, beyond, you know, today's technology, far beyond today's technology on the level of the Atlantis and all the rest of the mythological land masses to help explain away the African origins, because you do not want to give African people the credit for being the founders of all world civilization. And so even the white boy on the video is going to give it up and bring these facts out. So I want y'all to, you know, listen close on this.
Next up, we have a land called Mu. This one starts in a similar way, with a man investigating remains and drawing some wild conclusions from them. The remains in this case, however, were those of the Mayan civilization, and the man investigating them was Augustus Le Plongeon. He was astonished when studying Mayan ruins in the Yucatan, and after translating some of the writings, found the Mayan civilization to be far older than either the Greeks or even the Egyptians. Le Plongeon built off a mistranslation of a colleague who thought he had found a reference to a land sunken by catastrophe. He translated the name to Mu and believed that it was here that humans originated and subsequently traveled outward as Mu sank beneath the ocean. Le Plongeon placed Mu smack dab in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. But this theory really got momentum from the British writer James Churchward when he claimed to have come across 2 stone tablets in India spelling out the entire history of Mu. He changed a lot about the myth from Le Plongeon's version, now placing Mu in the Pacific Ocean, but he still kept the idea that all ancient civilizations originated from this one. This idea was pervasive for several reasons, mostly racist ones. Europeans didn't like Native Americans having awesome empires and pyramids before they did, but also this was used to explain how humans got to the Americas in the first place. Eventually, James Churchward produced this map, which at first might look like a random guess, but if you're like me, you'll know this is basically identical to another huge landmass in the Pacific Ocean, New Guinea. But still, because it gave Europeans an explanation as to how the Mayans could have created such exceptional works, many accepted Mu as a real place, and much was written about it. But slowly, like Lemuria, maps of the ocean floor provided strong evidence against any huge sunken landmass. The third
All right. Nah, let me come up. Because I'm gonna jump right back in. You know what I'm saying? All that shit about some sunken land mass. You understand what I'm saying? That's just like a pyramid. If you I can show you pyramids that then fell down, but the mass of granite and stone is still there. You know what I'm saying? Unless somebody come and remove that shit, it's still there. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the questions I want to ask for all these goddamn, giant ass pyramids that many of these Negroes say was there. What happened to the goddamn masonry that was, if it, in many instances, y'all didn't have no damn masonry. But all you see is the damn dirt mound. You understand what I'm saying? Now, either you had inferior technology or the shit was never there. But even dealing with a continent, it just ain't gonna, if it fall down, what's the layers up under the fucking continent? That's the shit that don't make no sense. If you look at the different layers of what's up under a motherfucking, it's all type of hard granite and shit, all type of stones that they ain't gonna just disappear because they go up under the goddamn water. So if a goddamn continent just collapse, nigga, you gonna see a pile of all kind of goddamn rocks and stones in that area that will prove if something like that has ever happened. And they done went to all the areas such as Mu and Atlantis, and they just shot that shit out the water because it's not going you could go over in India and Egypt, and if they use a certain type of stone, that shit's still up under the ground. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going, up under the water. It's still, they could go and dive deep down there. And, so if it was a great civilization, you know what I'm saying? And they use certain level, types of stones and shit, that it would still be up under the water. So all this shit of Mu and Atlantis is a bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? To throw niggas in all different directions instead of the right direction. And that the Africans are the forerunners of all civilization, high science, technology, and culture on the planet. Okay? And so let me go on over here and bring some more information up on this man, because we're going to dig deep today. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to dig deep today. This is the father of the Aboriginal myth, the Moorish myth right here. He's one of the fathers. Augustus Le Plongeon. We just heard, and we're going to get on old James Churchward, who's another thief. okay, who went over there and took from Le Plongeon, and he even expanded it even further. Okay, now I want to come down here. You understand what I'm saying? To what they say. Okay, theories. This is what I want to deal with. Theories. It says by the 1880s, while most Mayanists accepted that the Mayan civilization post-dated ancient Egypt. Okay, Le Plongeon stood by his theory. Okay, so when you say came later, long after ancient Egypt. Okay, he cites his years of field work and studies of archive sources and challenged those he considered archaeologists to debate the issue. But as the evidence mounted against cultural diffusion, Le Plongeon became marginalized and his theories fell further outside the growing mainstream of Mayan archaeology. Le Plongeon insisted that the symbols of Freemasonry could be traced to the ancient Mayan. Now, number one, I just went over there on Imhotep. I done showed you I done showed you the rulers. I done showed you the plumb line. I done showed you the square. I done showed you show you the Africans, you know, as models and on the walls, carving the statues, the blocks, the temples, and all of that. You understand what I'm saying? All I want to see is the tool. If he says that Freemasonry can be traced to ancient Egypt, which is a goddamn lie. You understand what I'm saying? And that it says and that this ancient knowledge had come to Egypt by the ancient Mayan by way of Atlantis. Okay, so what he trying to say is that from Mu, it went to the what you call today North America. Okay, where you find, you know, the Mayan civilization. And then from there, you know, it became Atlantis. Okay, because you see that, you know, North America is in between the Pacific and the Atlantic. So Mu is supposedly in the Pacific. Okay, and then Atlantis, of course, being named, you know, the Atlantic named after Atlantis was in the Atlantic. Okay, and so they saying from Mu to North America to the Atlantis, then on to Egypt, and how it jumped all the way over fucking West Africa and large portions of North Africa and Central Africa, Central North Africa, all the way to Egypt without showing no evidence of how they did that is very profound to me. Okay. And so right here, you got, see, the thing is when they get the line, they're going to always have, you know, key parts of the lie that you cannot put your finger on at this time. Mu and Atlantis. Okay. So right here, you got two fictional goddamn parts of the story that nobody can identify. See, so you got holes in the story. Okay, he and Alice, which is his wife, constructed an imaginative history. And that's many of what these Aboriginal niggas have done is created and even expounded more on the imaginative history. They're just like the Medunetta Negro, where, you know, you sprinkle some nigga sugar on it and even take a nigga further into chaos, intellectual chaos. Okay, so he constructed an imaginative history with the Mayan sites in the Yucatan being the cradle of civilization, with civilization then traveling east, first to Atlantis and later to ancient Egypt. Okay, and then to ancient Egypt. So when you hear the Negroes out there, the Aboriginal nigga, you understand what I'm saying? Don't need to call no name. And they say again that the Mayan period, this is his daddy. See, Le Plongeon is that nigga daddy. You understand? I want you to call him out on that. Say, we know your daddy now. We know who he is. We know Le Plongeon is your daddy. And James Church word is your daddy. You understand what I'm saying? So the question becomes, I'm like, damn, you say you are more, you say you are aboriginal, and this, that, and the third. I say, well, goddamn, how is it that a Caucasoid that just came out the cave just 2 days ago, no earlier than 2,000 years ago, is the fire, and you supposed to be more ancient than that. So what I don't need no theories that been created by no Caucasoid that didn't come out the cave just 2,000 years ago, being the lead proponent of the theory. Okay, Laplangian and James Churchward are the lead proponents of the theory. Before that, you do not have no blacks talking about that Mayan. Why would they even say some shit like that? Okay, because it's really just been brought to the forefront of the African heads, which we call the Olmecs. We didn't know nothing about, that the Africans was in Mexico with an ancient civilization like that. Fairly recent when they found the heads. You see what I'm saying? So it would be no reason in hell for us to create no Mayanism or none of that shit, because there's no way we would have connected black people to no goddamn ancient Maya. So where are y'all getting this? So because y'all say y'all aboriginal to this land, you're use, which is a fake theory, you're using anything that will back you up, even Europeans that don't even belong supposedly to the aboriginal race. Now, I ain't never known somebody to have a theory and somebody outside of their race is the lead proponent in the theory. That right there should let you know that them niggas did not create that theory. Okay, that is a Caucasoid theory. And as we going over this, you can see many even Mayanists and even world historians, and that don't mean nothing, because you could get a group of scholars that can get together and have a mass majority of scholars that believe something that is not true. So I don't want to say, but we're talking about African scholars. And we're not talking about armchair scholars. We're talking about, some of the most profound scholars that ever walked on the planet, such as Ivan Van Sertima. Now, I know, personally, Ivan Van Sertima is a beast when it comes to research. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. He's right up there with Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark. He might be a tier up under him, up under the masters, but don't get it twisted. A tier up under them master teachers is still a seriously profound scholar. Okay? A seriously profound scholar. Okay, and so we don't want to, just say because, some Europeans say that Laplangian is a lie, you understand, based on my own research that I've done for the last 30 fucking years, over 30 years. I can look him dead in his eye based not just on just reading the top scholars, but even the fucking field research, going there, doing the research, not going just to fucking, look at some guys. I was on the spot doing and had my blueprint all laid out, what I was looking for. You understand? I didn't go over there. I went over there doing heavy research. You know what I'm saying? In every temple. You understand? As soon as I got in there, I was on the ground, you know what I'm saying? Taking, thousands and thousands of photos and shooting, just hours and hours and hours of video. You understand what I'm saying? And so, okay, the Laplangians named kings and queens of these dynasties and said that various artworks were portraits of such ancient royalty, such as the famous Charmul, which the couple excavated at Chichen Itza. Okay, now let's see what it says. Do we need to go down here about his legacy? I don't even need to go down there because they shot him in the neck because he was fake anyway. So we clear about that. And so we're saying he's fake as African scholars. And then we gave those who needed, who got crackatosis, a couple of Europeans to help them understand that we know what the fuck we talking about. If you need that little nudge because you got crackatosis, we put you a couple of Europeans in there to help you along the way. Now, this is James Churchward. And that's crazy because his brother, is, a lot of his books are read in the African-centered community. His brother is Albert Churchward, who wrote the book Signs and Symbols of Primordial Man. And he teaches something totally opposite of his brother James. And Albert Churchward was a far more serious scholar than James Churchward. You understand what I'm saying? If you get, you can look him up, Signs and Symbols of Primordial Man. I went in the book and I did, and he believes, Albert Churchward believes in the African origin of ancient Egypt. He's still European, and he lied in many other instances, but he does say that, the beginning of the Nile Valley is in Africa. So the key thing is, not only is these Negroes lying about there was no slave trade, which is so stupid of the Negro, like the European is the only one recording. If a motherfucker kicked my door in, goddamn it, I know who he took up out the house. I don't need nobody to give me no documentation. So again, when you acting like the white boy is the only one with documentation on the Atlantic slave trade, you stupid as hell. So you obviously calling African scholars a lie. You understand? And my thing is, what is the motherfucking agenda for Negroes like that? And then they get mad when a nigga jump in their fucking chest because, you the one started this shit. Okay, but we gonna end it, in every fucking video that I dig in your motherfucking chest, we gonna end it. So you was the one being disingenuous, okay, and going against the family because you could have easily said that, Africans was aboriginal to the Western Hemisphere and that, that they came from Africa. You could have said both. You didn't have to dismiss the African slave trade to be no fucking Indian. You didn't have to do that, but you discarded the African slave trade. And then when you go up under what they speaking, you got to understand that it's Mayanism. Okay, let's be clear. Okay, so not only Aboriginal, so are you niggas claiming the Mayan civilization? Because if you is, then I'm gonna trump your ass with the Olmecs, because LaPlongeon, obviously, I don't think that the Olmec heads had been discovered at that time. So when the Olmec heads was discovered, that threw every fucking thing that LaPlongeon was talking into the fucking garbage. You see what I'm saying? It's a wrap on him. Okay? So let me deal with Churchward. According to Churchward, Mu extended somewhere. Now he came on top of LaPlongeon. He moves the shit. Okay, LaPlongeon had move somewhere in the Pacific. This nigga Albert Churchward take it and throw it over damn near in the Indian Ocean. He throws it in the Indian Ocean. Okay? According to Churchward, Mu extended from somewhere north of Hawaii to the south as far as Fijis and Easter Island. He claimed Mu was the site of the Garden of Eden and the home of 64 million inhabitants, known as the Nakabs. Now, number one, motherfucker, if it was there, you know, understand, which is not, how the fuck you gonna know it's 64 million inhabitants? Do you got 64 million graves, nigga? You got 4 million fossils of human fossils that been fucked? No, you could not have that. So you just threw some shit out there. You understand that none of these niggas can never verify. Okay, none of these niggas can ever verify that. So again, there it goes, where they throw out shit that nobody can put their finger on. You understand what I'm saying? It's some shit that's hypothetical. And that's why I say claims and hypothesis, because it's hypothetical, because you don't have no physical evidence to back up any fucking thing that you say. It's civilization which flourished 50,000 years before church words day was technologically more advanced than his own. And the ancient civilizations of India, Babylon, Persia, Egypt, and the Mayans were merely the decayed remnants of colonies. Okay, Churchward claimed to have gained his knowledge of the lost land after befriending an Indian priest. Now, that goes back to all the theosophy which I've been teaching y'all to show you that Madame Blavatsky, she first went to, India, set up the headquarters of the Theosophic Society. Then you had the wicked motherfucker, what's this Alex de Crowley. Also, you understand, bringing a lot of the going to Burma, going over there, adopting the motherfucking yogi shit, and this, that, and the third, coming back. And so this is where they was getting this goddamn information from, okay? Who taught him to read an ancient dead language spoken only by only 3 people in all of India. I'll be damned. Okay? And how the fuck did they get it? You understand what I'm saying? You talking about 50,000 years ago, and only 3 motherfuckers know how to speak. Ain't that a bitch? You understand? Them 3 motherfuckers got together and they say, fuck that, we about to make some money. You understand what I'm saying? And we the only motherfuckers that know. See, that's not, again, that's not institution. You understand what I'm saying? Because if it's any heavy evidence anywhere, it's going to be more than 3 people that know about it. Okay? And so this again is that one bit book mythology where, a motherfucker find a magical book at the bottom of the fucking ocean that nobody has, and the motherfucker say the book is at the bottom of the ocean. I said, well, motherfucker, how you get down there to read the motherfucker? You understand what I'm saying? What the fuck did you have? What kind? You had air or one of them goddamn, them air canisters? That motherfucker had to be large than a motherfucker. That motherfucker had to been as large as one of them goddamn, the back of a goddamn 18-wheeler for you to go down that goddamn deep on the bottom of the ocean. And how did you read that motherfucker underwater? And why you didn't bring that motherfucker back up with you when you came? You see, the priest disclosed the existence of several ancient tablets written by the Nakals, and Churchward gained access to these records after overcoming the priest's initial reluctance. His knowledge remained incomplete as the available tablets were mere fragments of a larger text. But see, that's like the Rosetta Stone. You understand what I'm saying? Broken half and shit. But Churchward claimed to have found verification and further information in the records of other ancient people. His writing attempt to describe the civilization of Mu, its history, inhabitants, and influence on subsequent history and civilization. Listen to this. Churchward claimed that the ancient Egyptian sun god originated with the Mu. Okay, here we go. And I'm glad because when we step to the Nubian part of this, tonight video, that's gonna shoot all that shit in the mother, shoot that shit right in the chest. You see what I'm saying? And do away with it. Because they think this shit is so outdated. And this was before African people had knowledge of self about the Nile. See, they thinking they could get away with it because at this time, don't nobody know about ancient Africa on that level. Niggas still running around with Negro history. That when the white man came to West Africa, niggas was rolling around in the dirt, throwing mud pies with a thong on. You understand? Had a goddamn camel bone in his nose or some shit like that. That's the history that niggas got. You know what I'm saying? But today, with all the research that's been done by African scholars all over the world, this shit right here is so weak and so outdated and shouldn't even be on this level to even have to go over this shit. This shit should have been discarded long time. and it was discarded. You understand what I'm saying? But those theosophists and today the Negropeans that then latched on to the theosophists have created new lies and embellished the lies and and dressed the lie up in new costumes and start selling it back to the people. Okay, now I'm not gonna go over all of this, but it shows that most of the scholars who have debate refuted the man. You understand what I'm saying? These are your scientific rebuttal. So you can take your time and go over that. I don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to refruit the motherfucker myself. Now let me go on in here and shoot. Now, the key thing is here is the level of technology. Now, they saying that the Mu was greater than all the civilizations. You see what I'm saying? And that Egypt, Babylon, and Greece, and all the rest of them, even the Mayans, which you don't hear them bring up the Olmecs, because you got to understand at the time of James Churchward and the time of Le Plongeon, the fucking Olmecs ain't even been discovered. And so that just show you how outdated that shit is. You see what I'm saying? Because if they would have seen the goddamn Olmec, they would have thrown that shit out the goddamn door a long time. And maybe they did, and maybe they swept that, they put the dirt back on it and say, goddamn it, we got to hurry up and come up with a lie. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if they know that they are the authors of civilization over here in America, we done. You understand what I'm saying? We're done. So again, I'm gonna go through this just to look at the level, because if the Mayans, if we talking about Mu, and they saying that the Mayans preceded the Egyptian, and if the land of Mu is highly technological, more technological than any civilization that have ever been on the planet, except maybe Atlantis or whatever, then if the Mayans came directly from out of Mu, then we would expect that the Mayan civilization would be greater than the Egyptian civilization. And there's no way that you could prove that. Okay, when you're looking at the pyramids, we're talking about masonry. You're talking about a true pyramid. Okay, I want to be clear about that. There are no pyramids outside of Africa. I want to be clear about that. You have a dirt mound supported structure. Even what they call a step pyramid is somewhat, untruthful, because there's no such thing as a step pyramid. That's not no goddamn pyramid. That is a tri-level mastaba. And I want y'all to remember that. We throwing some things out there today. It's a tri-level mastaba, because when you stay true to the definition geometrically of what a pyramid is, you understand what I'm saying? Then Africa stands alone as the only continent to ever build true pyramids. Okay? When you look at the level of, when we talk about even the carving or the stelas, you understand what I'm saying? No, not even the Olmecs, not the Mayans, Aztecs, nor the Incans ever reached the level of perfection when you're talking about carving into stone. I don't give a fuck if it's the sarcophagus. I don't give a fuck of what it is. They did not reach that level. It was very primitive when I looked at it. Okay, I'm just gonna be clear. I was there, and I don't lie for no reason. If I'm gonna tell the truth, because the truth is more powerful than any lie that you can make up. When you start making up lies, in 50 years, 10 years from now, somebody gonna be crushing your ass like we crushing Le Plongeon and Albert Churchward right here today. So you can see, yes, there are very many cultural similarities that we know that are not just coincidence between all the civilizations. That's just obvious that there was one grand lodge, one grand university, one grand civilization, and all the others are nothing but mere students of that civilization, and they never reached the level of the mother civilization, which is in Africa. So here you see again, really the only thing that you see carved in heavy granite was the Olmec head. Because when you go to the pyramid, now you look at that pyramid, you see it's a dirt mound. Okay, so now you'll put some mortar on the outside of it. You understand what I'm saying? But if it was blocks, even if the motherfuckers fell down, they would still be there. Okay, or what? Or did they remove them and build something else? You understand what I'm saying? But there, we could go into Africa and I could show you pyramids that fell down and the stones are still there. And then another thing about the pyramids of Egypt is because even if they was cheap with, every king didn't have the ability to build, great pyramids like the Fourth Dynasty. But the tomb under that pyramid was very exquisite. So, I mean, it's still a great monument, you understand what I'm saying, of any pyramid because of what the writing and certain artifacts that's left in the tomb. It's not for you to go down there and steal, but what I'm saying is it's just so much that's going to be left in an African tomb that you would never ever find in no other kind of tomb. So you see here the stela, you see the sarcophagus, you see that the Olmecs also had a hieroglyph. Okay, so right there, you got the pyramid, you got the stela, you got the large granite heads, you got the sarcophagus, you even got the Sphinx, and so many, many more that I done found over 50, concrete similarities, you understand, between the Olmecs and the Egyptians and Nubians that isn't not even up for debate anymore. You see what I'm saying? And so we're looking at the great temples and the great African pyramid builders. Now, right there, you can see, the African brothers with the mallets and the chisels. You understand what I'm saying? Going to work. Now, these are many what you call models that they find down in the tombs. And so a lot of people want to understand how so much of ancient Egypt been deciphered. It ain't been deciphered by that goddamn language. You understand what I'm saying? They left so many small models of ancient Egypt throughout all them tombs that anybody, with, any type of pen and an ability to write can conjure up all type of stories and be close to, factual based on the models alone of how the Africans lived. Okay, you know what I mean? But you know how writers can embellish, the facts that's before them. They add other shit on to it, this, that, and the third. But a lot of history of ancient Egypt could have been written by the damn models that they found down in the tens of thousands of tombs where they found them. Okay, now this is Kalula. Okay, now this is supposedly, they try to say is the largest pyramid in the world. Okay, now anybody in their right fucking mind can automatically see, and it's a mound up under there. Just to be real, it's not a goddamn pyramid. It's a tri-level mastodon. Okay. This is not coming up to no damn apex, and it's not smooth on all sides, even on all sides. That's true. Okay, this is a tri-level structure, you understand, supported by a dirt mound up under it. Now, this is looking at they ain't even using bricks, geometrically even blocks. They just putting stucco up there. You understand what I'm saying? And any kind of rock, you understand, not a smooth rock. So this is not even really masonry. Because when you're talking about masonry, you got a ruler, you cutting even blocks and this, that, and the third. So I find it and now listen, family, this is still our African brothers and sisters that constructed these early pyramids in America. But we're just being clear that these is even too technically different architectural styles. You cannot explain what they call the Tolero style, which is which is a style that the Olmecs use in the Americas. They do not use this style in the Nile Valley. So for somebody to try to explain the Egyptian pyramid by way of the American pyramids is, you don't have no knowledge whatsoever on architecture at all. You understand what I'm saying? So, this is the most profound stylistic form of architecture in the Americas. And again, like I say, when you go to the pyramid of Giza and most of the great pyramids, even Imhotep, even though he's not using as large blocks as you see at Giza, they are still stone brick blocks. Okay, they're just not as large. Okay, and so this is a whole different type of architectural style. So how in the fuck can you explain building the pyramids in Egypt if you cannot show me one pyramid in which was constructed in the way that pyramids in Africa was constructed? We're talking about the first level. You understand what I'm saying? You got 2 million blocks on the Great Pyramid, 2 million. You understand what I'm saying? So you talking about the first level of the pyramid could weigh, 5,000 tons. 10,000 tons on the first goddamn level. You understand what I'm saying? So you probably can take the first level of the Great Pyramid, and it's more granite on the first level of the pyramid than the biggest goddamn pyramid in the Americas, which is Teotihuacan. Now they say Kalula or whatever is the largest, but where is the masonry? I don't give you no credit as being the largest fucking pyramid or any of that if only thing left is a fucking dirt mound. Okay, so that's very disingenuous to people out here that's really studying and know architecture and know history to say that any of the pyramids in the Americas are older. How in the fuck? I mean, you got Africans that were building silt pyramids, and that ain't nothing but the dirt. You understand what I'm or the fertilizer that come down the Nile River. You got silt pyramids that go back 200,000-300,000 years. You see what I'm saying? So if you just talking about stacking some dirt to make a mound, you understand what I'm saying? We could go back far earlier than the pyramids. Okay, if that's what you're talking about. Okay, so we want to be clear that we're talking about freestanding structures that are not supported. They are self-supporting. Okay, freestanding, self-supporting structures. And you do not have that shit in no damn. You could go to any one of them damn pyramids in America, and I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, there's if not 10 times out of 10, there's a dirt mound supporting that structure. And they just went around the outside of that dirt mound, put some mortar, and you know what I'm saying, using this particular style, which we call the Tolero style. Okay? You don't see no evenly cut blocks on that. Okay? Nah. We're looking at a very profound picture because you see Africa and you see the mountains that's going up and down the east coast of Africa. You understand? Then you look down in Giza and you see, you know what I'm saying, the Great Pyramids down at Giza. And the mountains already give you a picture of the pyramid. Because when you look at the pyramids of Africa, they are only a replica of the mountains of the southern region. That's why when you look at many other columns that are in the temple, when you look at Egypt, it is only the southern the Holy Lands of the South recreated in stone. That's it. When you look at the columns, when you look at which you can have the papyrus column, you can have the lotus column. You understand what I'm saying? This is the environment of the Holy Land. This is the environment of the Holy Land. But when you get down into Giza, you understand what I'm saying? You have less granite. You understand what I'm saying? And so what they was trying to do was reduplicate the Holy Land, just like they say, heaven on earth. You understand what I'm saying? So all the things that were sacred to the Africans in the South that was not in abundance in Egypt, they reduplicated it in stone. Okay, so we don't want nobody to say that, you understand, Mayans or niggas from Atlantis and Mu brought any fucking thing into Africa, because anybody that get into the environment of Africa will see that everything that they use to create Egypt, you could go up the river and see it as a part of the natural environment of Africa. Stop lying. Please stop lying. Okay? Now, here's another thing that's very, very key, which will just dispel any lies that, because when you go into, yes, there are pyramids in the Americas that have burials inside of them, but the majority of them have not yet produced a burial. So you got some pyramids that are for burials, and those were the ones that were highly connected to the Olmec, who brought the priesthood from Africa over here. Okay, because that is that's a burial of the priest of Africa. Okay, let's be clear about the whole ritual of the pyramid, because again, when you bring that culture with you, see, you actually when you bury somebody in America, that's actually an African burial. They don't have shit to do. They have no cultural connection to that. You understand what I'm saying? But because the greater culture demand that you bow down to greatness, then you accept it, because of course you want to accept the greater culture. But when you're looking at the pre-dynastic burials, okay, if you look at the first two, you're looking at the actual tomb that would later be a part of the early stone mastebas. You understand what I'm saying? Later they will become a part of the tri-level mastebas, tri-level. When you look at the pyramid at the bottom, you see to the left is what people call a step pyramid. But I don't want to keep saying that, because it's not a goddamn pyramid. Okay, it's a tri-level mastaba. You understand? And see, by doing that, you will stop other people, from using the term pyramid so loosely that where they can name a goddamn mud mound or pyramid. That ain't no fucking pyramid. Okay, I'm sorry to tell you that. Okay, and so the burial from the earliest pre-dynastic burials all the way up to now really never changed over the years, down through the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So when you look at the pre-dynastic burials deep up into the Sudan, deep up into Uganda, deep up into Ethiopia, you understand what I'm saying? They saw through the development of coming down the Nile that the types of burials, graves, and tombs, really, it developed a little bit over a course of time, but primarily the burial tomb stayed the same. Yes, when they got more money, it developed, but when you look at the early stone mastaba at the top on the right, you can see, and that goes into pre-dynastic Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? That goes into pre-dynastic Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? All the way down to the large pyramid at the bottom, technically, the burial up under whether it was a mastaba, whether it was a tri-level mastaba, whether it was a pyramid, okay? The burial tomb up under that structure remain the same. You do not find these type of burials in no goddamn America, okay? Let's be clear about that. You understand what I'm saying? You can see the development as you come down the Nile. So to say that somebody brought these, this type of, structure over to Africa is very disingenuous, because you can show down through the thousands of years the development from the pre-dynastic burial all the way up to the fourth dynasty pyramids, that the tomb up under all those structures technically remain the same. And though it developed, it still developed on the original architectural style from the pre-dynastic burial. Okay, so you're not fooling nobody. Okay, just like we looked at the particular style of the Egyptian, the American pyramid, a total different fucking architectural style. Okay, which would have taken totally different architectural know-how. When you dealing with these damn pyramids in Egypt, nigga, you dealing with a totally different type of know-how to be able to put that kind of pyramid. So how do you explain one by the other? And how can you explain giving the Mayans the origins of ancient Egypt, and you've never seen a true pyramid or a pyramid built with granite and masonry? You can't even show me one. Every fucking pyramid you show me in the Americas was supported by a fucking dirt mound, okay? We are talking about freestanding, self-supporting masonry, granite and stone, not stucco, not jagged rocks or none of that, okay? Let me keep it moving. Again, we're showing you how this is a mastaba. Now, a mastaba is a single story tomb, okay? But up under there, they still gonna have in that tomb. I done been in many mastaba, in the mastaba congemini, and when you're talking about a pyramid field, you understand what I'm saying? They not telling you how many, when you go to Giza, you had hundreds of mastabas out there. You know what I'm saying? You had many queen pyramids that they tore down. You understand what I'm saying? So that whole complex would have been a cemetery, massive cemetery. So they done went in all of those tombs and robbed and took artifacts out of it. You understand what I'm saying? The Arab could not respect a woman. You understand what I'm saying? So they knocked many of the queen pyramids down and went and built mosques and this, that, and the third with it. You understand? And then want to come back 100 years later and claim it as their ancestors, and they was some of the most foremost of the pillagers and plunderers of all people that came to Egypt. Okay? And so let me keep it. Nah, this is very, very key. Because, when I get into Nubia, you understand what I'm saying? You're going to see that, these is tomb. This is early dynastic Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? This is the tomb of Narmer. And this is very, very shocking that they got the tomb of the very first king of Egypt. Okay? Which is even more shocking is the fact that you got tombs just like this, even more ancient than the first dynasty of Egypt up in Sudan, okay, up in Nubia, okay, which we're going to bring out today. So when you look at this level, you can see that they was using masonry below ground at this time. You understand what I'm saying? Where they was using stone for the inner burial. You understand what I'm saying? And look at this. This man got 3, 4, you know what I'm saying? Probably even more back there that ain't even been, the dirt, the sand ain't been removed. So this is not no little grave, nigga. You know what I'm saying? This is the very first king, and that's very shocking that they have the first dynasty burials in Egypt. And when you look at them, these is not these are large tombs. Okay, this ain't no we just getting started. Nigga, if you had a burial like that today, nigga, you know how much money just one of them rooms right there, because that's a room. You know, they would put in each room, they'll put different, you know, artifacts, things that the king. So that means that, you know, the spiritual development, the afterlife, you know, the things that you need to take with you into the afterlife was already developed in the first damn dynasty. You understand what I'm saying? He's filling his tombs. So that's no different if you go to King Tut's tomb. Okay, so you're talking about, so you're not going to just come in here and just say, oh, I brought this, when we can show the full development of everything that's in Egypt coming out of Nubia. Okay, so in order for you to claim Egypt, you must claim New, and then we can go even further up and show that, you know, all the way to the beginning of the Nile, that elements of African people all the way to the beginning of the Nile went into what Egypt was in its latter years. Okay, again, so when you look at down where the sarcophagus was, now at the time of Narmer, I don't think that they had sarcophagus. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was on that level yet. You see what I'm saying? I know he was buried in a fetal position, which he, and it was, of course, looking at a lot of other artifacts. You understand what I'm saying? He believed in the great mother. You understand? Because anytime you show the fetal position, that means you're going back up in the great mother. As you came into this world, this is how you reborn into the next world. You understand? Through salvation of the African woman. So this is true, and the facts are there that he believed. We see Heru was on the Narmer's pallet. So the black woman was God when the first king was laid in his grave. The black woman, when you look at the Narmer's pallet, you see that Heru is at the top of the pallet. Okay, so when the first king was on the throne in Egypt, the black woman was already God. You understand what I'm saying? So there's no development in that. You see what I'm saying? And so again, showing you the mastaba, that's a single story. Now you can stack them. You understand? That don't mean you got a pyramid. That just means you got a tri-level mastaba. That's all you have. And then again, showing you and so, this is, this, you can have a brick mastaba. And obviously that's what was up over the tombs of Narmer. He had a brick, and so it's not there no more. You know what I'm saying? Later on, they would start using stone. You see what I'm saying? And so right here, this is a mastaba. And they got many mastabas that still standing. But that don't mean nothing, because if you go up under that mastaba, the tomb could be extremely extravagant. You see what I'm saying? So again, showing you the evolution of the mastaba to the step pyramid. What am I showing you? I'm showing you the development. If the Mayans came from Mu, and Mu was so extravagant, technologically superior than any other civilization on the planet, why would they have come building such, low level, architecture? And I'm not saying low, I'm talking about, this is a mastaba. You see, we're showing you the development. If you came from Mu and you was, highly technological, we would expect you would have came over here building large and technologically advanced. You wouldn't have been developing. You understand what I'm saying? We're showing you the development from each stage. Okay, so you see, right? We showing you, this is where Narmer and them was. You see what I'm saying? They just had tombs like this, had a little, mud brick structure on the top. Is no longer there. You see what I'm saying? And then here come Imhotep, and he stacks the mastabas. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the world's first tri-level mastaba or skyscraper. Now it's still a skyscraper, and it can be identified as a skyscraper, but it's not a pyramid. Okay, so when you're looking at the mastaba at the bottom, that's the first level of the pyramid of Saqqara. Now let's be clear. So the pyramid of Saqqara is masonry. Those are stone blocks. They're not as big as the blocks on the Great Pyramid, but it's still masonry. It's not the same architectural style of the Americas. Okay, it's not the same architectural style of the Americas. So there's no way you can explain the Masonic structure that you see in front of you by way of the architectural style of the Mayan. These are the blocks that's on the step pyramid. These are stone blocks. Okay, so that ain't the same shit that you, let me back up so you can see it. Here you go. Right here. Let me, matter of fact, I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna bring it down. So you see right there, those are the stone blocks right there of the pyramid of Saqqara. And you see the Talud Tolero style, which ain't even using blocks. They ain't even using, those are stones. You understand what I'm, but that's some shit that you could just quarry down that where, it's a lot of rocks and this. So they didn't even smooth them out. There's no geometric structure to it. You understand what? It's not laid like these. You understand? So these are two architecturally different styles. And this is a freestanding structure, while this right here, got dirt, mud mound up under it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's supported by a dirt mound. Now, this is the pyramid field of Saqqara. You know what I'm saying? And you can see that you got mastabas all around. You see the mastaba to the left over there. You see the mastaba of Ptah-hotep, where they went in there and got the, the so-called interpretation of Ptah-hotep, how they did it without understanding the Medunetta is beyond me. But we nevertheless, there's the mastaba of Ptah-hotep. Then, if you look all the way to the top at the right, you know what I'm saying? You will see the pyramid of Teddy, and you will see, and I went down in that pyramid. You see what I'm saying? I went down, and that's where you have the pyramid text. You understand? More highly developed. You understand what I'm saying? That's one thing about whatever tomb, the Egyptians had that, that underneath that tomb that was underneath that structure could be highly elaborate. So whether a man spent all, he could spend most of his money on the tomb up under it and put a cheaper pyramid at the top, and it might have fell down. But that tomb will always be up under there. And so the pyramid of Teddy, then you see right above that pyramid, you see a mastaba of Meroruka, you see the mastaba of Congemini, and the other two, Ankh-Mahor. And I think I've been in all four of those. You see what I'm saying? Been to the pyramid of Zoja, and I saw the other ones by way of just, riding by. I didn't necessarily go, inside of it, but, I saw them riding by, So let me move on. So the first stone structure in human history. Okay, again, when we got to be clear, we're talking about stone, you know what I'm saying, in human history. And we're talking about, of a technological advancement where we using bricks today. You ain't just picking no goddamn rocks up and just putting them in some goddamn mortar and shit. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing that. Now, some people might try to construct something on that level, but I guarantee you they got some form of brick up under that shit. Even if they put some, they got some ruggedness to their house on the outside, I doubt very seriously if a motherfucker gonna construct a house and ain't got no stone or no damn brick on it. Okay? And so you see the great, not only the pyramid, but the great Masonic Lodge, the first Masonic Lodge of human history. This is the great high priest, not high priest, but grand master of the craft. You understand? Zoja, Pharaoh Zoja, the third Pharaoh of the third dynasty. Okay? Now, you see right here this facade. I want y'all to look at that. This is Saqqara, and you see the world's oldest colonnade. You see what I'm saying? the world's oldest colonnade. And I went all throughout the Americas. I went to Chichen Itza, and I looked at their colonnade. And this is one of the, compared to the other colonnades, such as the Temple of Luxor and the Temple of Karnak, they will make these columns look like little toothpicks. You understand what I'm saying? But these columns right here are the oldest in the world. You talking about 2700 BC. The columns is still there. And you can look at the facade of this temple, and it almost looked like it was built yesterday. Okay, when I saw it, I say, wow. And you can look at that red granite, and I don't know if that granite is from Aswan, because I know a lot of that red granite comes from Aswan. And so when you look at the colonnade of Saqqara, you could go to any cathedral and you could look at this cathedral and it almost looked like it used that same reddish granite type of style. And you can see how the columns is lined up and you can see how it leads down to the Holy of Holies. So you can look at any structure today and see that it's not from Mayan. It's not, when you look at the cathedrals, when you look at Greece, when you look at Rome, when you look at India, they ain't took a motherfucking thing from no Mayan. All of that is coming up out of Africa. Okay? This is Zosia right here. Now, this is the old kingdom. Okay, and we ain't got to go, this is Saqqara, and the kings ruled at Memphis. Okay, they ruled at Memphis, but they came down here to be buried at Saqqara in Abydos. Okay, you see the Grand Vizier, okay, the Grand Vizier, you understand, which is the prime minister. Imhotep was the prime minister. He was the general, what you call the lead surgeon of the United States, the general surgeon. Okay, the general surgeon, which is the lead surgeon of the United States. So he was that for Egypt. He was the lead physician. Okay, so he was, not only had he mastered architecture, he was the lead physician. He was a poet. You understand what I'm saying? They say Imhotep even, founded the blood circulation in the body. You understand what the African priests, as they were cutting up the body, taking the organs out, putting them, so they have been doing surgery thousands and thousands and thousands of years before any other people on the planet Earth. And so now we're going from Imhotep, and this is Sneferu. Okay, this is Sneferu. This is the the first king, great king. You understand what I'm saying? That built the first true pyramid, which you see at the bottom. Now, he wasn't the first king that came after Zosia. He wasn't. You had Huni and you had a couple more kings, but they was trying to develop on Imhotep. As you can see the pyramid of Meidum, you can see from the step pyramid right there that they trying to close the steps in. You understand? They're trying to make the smooth side and bring it up to an apex. You understand? That looked very similar to the Nubian pyramid. When you look at that pyramid of Meidum, it looked very similar to the pyramids of Nubia. Okay? Very, very similar to the pyramids, but you can see they're trying to geometrically bring about a true pyramid. Okay? And so what you're looking at here with Imhotep is a tri-level mastodon. Okay? And again, Sneferu is who builds more pyramids than any one man. Okay, he put more stone masonry on the planet than any one man, because even though Huni started this, I think he died, and Sneferu, tried to finish the pyramid, but the outer casing ended up falling down. So again, you haven't gotten to the true pyramid. You're developing. So that we're showing you the flaws, and we're showing you, the mistakes. You understand, before they got to the true pyramid. So the whole development of the pyramid takes place in Africa. You see what I'm saying? Let me go over here to show family. Here again, you're seeing that they're filling the steps in. You understand? A pyramid is smooth on all sides. It forms a pyramid, pyramids on all sides, coming to an apex, coming to the point. Okay, so it's a tri-level master bar is not a pyramid. Let me keep him. And this is another failure. This is the black pyramid. You understand? And I get the king who built that one, and I saw that one. That's my, I don't think that's my photo, but I got photos on the black pyramid. You understand what I'm saying? I've been to that pyramid. So that's a flaw. That's a flaw. So from there to the pyramid of Meidum, you see the black pyramid. You see what I'm saying? These are the mistakes that they were making because they're developing. So if you the Mayans and shit, and you so extremely technological, then you should have came over here already technologically superior. You shouldn't have been developing. You understand what I'm saying? You should have came over here with the high technology. We don't need you because we can show you every stage of the pyramid, going through each step, how the African developed the pyramid. And then even the bent pyramid of Sneferu, he put this one together, but it's a mistake. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't get the calculations together. And when he went up so far, it went to cracking. You know what I'm saying? And if he would have took it to where he wanted to take it, this would have been the second largest pyramid on the planet behind Khufu. You understand what I'm saying? This would have been, you got Khafre, who is, I think I don't know, it's the second largest pyramid today, which is right next to Khufu. But if his father, Sneferu, had finished this to the dimensions it was originally set out to be constructed, this would have been the largest pyramid on the planet. I mean, the second largest pyramid on the planet behind the Great Pyramid. So you see the flaws. You see the flaws from Meidum, the pyramid of Meidum. You see the Black Pyramid. And you see the bent pyramid of Sneferu. These are the flaws. And then you come to the red pyramid of the Sultan Sneferu, the first true pyramid in world history, 1613, 25, 89 BC. Now, number one, let me hurry up and bring y'all over to this. We need to see this quickly. You understand what I'm saying? Where we see the starting point, and we got to understand, I don't even understand why we're talking about the Mayan. You understand? That show you how them Negroes is using such outdated authors for the history of the Aboriginals, and they don't understand that Le Plongeon and Albert Churchward was writing before the founding of Olmec. That shot the goddamn Mayans, clean out the picture. You see what I'm saying? So when you're looking at the Olmecs, you're talking about the Olmecs came on the scene around, 1500 BC. You understand? That's the Olmecs, not the Mayan or none of that. So Le Plongeon was wrong. You understand? The Olmecs came from Africa because we didn't show all of the similarity. So that shoot all the move and all of that Atlantic shit, that shit is shot. Shot in the head. You can go and lay that one in the casket because it's over with. You see what I'm saying? They brought the jaguar, which, the leopard skin coming from Africa. But then when you got to America, the Olmecs started using the jaguar because that's the cat of the land. You understand? Still, I think a jaguar, I don't know if it's a leopard or not. It's very well still might be a leopard. You understand what I'm saying? And the Olmecs also brought the pyramid building, brought the hieroglyphs, and the flying serpent. Quetzalcoatl come from the Olmecs. And we see the flying serpent in Egypt and in Nubia. Let me come back over here so I can come back down. And you see here, let me come again. You see the causeway that leads up to the pyramid. You see what I'm saying? Coming out of ancient Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have the development on this level. So if the Mayans or whatever, this is the Olmec. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, this is what I didn't show. Let me go up here because I didn't show the African, but now let me come up here and show some of the The Mayans, the early Mayans. It's gonna shock a lot of people. Now, they didn't clean that shit up today. See what I'm saying? When you come into Africa, you ain't got to clean nothing up. You see how you know it's a mud dirt mile because the grass is growing up through the goddamn, through the stone. Now, it might be a little stone on this. You understand? It might be a little stone on this, but not much. You see how it overgrow? You know what I'm saying? They didn't just find that. They rebuilt a lot of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Dirt and shit all over that. Wait a minute. Let me show y'all some things. Now, I've been here. They didn't rebuild this. You know what I'm saying? It don't look like that today. They confusing people, you know what I'm saying, by building on to shit. You know what I'm saying? Clean. This is Palinka. This ain't how Palinka look when I got there. That shit in rubbles. You understand what I'm saying? So how in the hell you going to explain ancient Egypt and most of the damage that happened to ancient Egypt was done by the invaders? You understand what I'm saying? It was the Arabs and them that went over there and tore the damn limestone casing off the side of it. You understand? They the ones that went over there and destroyed a lot. All they had to do was get the damn sand from around. They ain't have to reconstruct nothing because you can't reconstruct it. It ain't never fell down. So that pyramid, as it's looking, is the way that all they had to do was move the sand from around it. Okay, again, showing you that, it's a lot of dirt mound under a lot of, and then the level of masonry. Look at it, how it's falling down. Look at the level of masonry. And you see Le Plongion's name on a lot of it. You understand what I'm saying? Look at that. I was there. That's Uxmal. I can show you that right now. Let me come over here and show y'all that. This is Uxmal right here. You see what I'm saying? They didn't clean that up. And then here go another at the bottom. You see one of those. They didn't clean that up and rebuilt it back up. You understand what I'm saying? That ain't how it looked when they found it. You understand what I'm saying? So when you come over here to Uxmal, you see that this shit, you see all the trees and shit growing up through there. You know why? Because there's a dirt mound up under there. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what happened with dirt. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, weeds gonna pop up, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? So you got nothing but weed, so you wouldn't even know. So they had to go over there and clear all that shit out. And so that's Le Plongeon right there, Chestanisa, 1875. Okay? There again, looking at Uxmal. You can see the level of masonry that's on it. You understand what I'm saying? One half for the side of that motherfucker. Those are not the blocks. And now this is Cholula. Now this is supposed to be the largest, listen to this, pyramid on the planet. You will hear these Negroes say this, that this is the largest pyramid on the planet. You got to be, you can't be serious. You understand? So they'll call anything a goddamn pyramid. Now, look at this. Now you can look, now that what's so crazy about it, they fooling niggas for you to think that this is the original masonry that was on this so-called structure. That's a new adage to that structure. That's very, very new. I'm gonna show you the older style that was on that structure. Now they calling this the oldest pyramid on the planet, and you can see it's supported by a dirt mound. Dirt is not masonry. Okay. Now, what I must say about it, even though it is a structure supported by a dirt mound, it's Olmec. So even though they saying it's the largest pyramid in the world, it's not the largest pyramid in the world. It very well may be the largest structure of the ancient Americas, and I give my Olmec ancestors credit for that. But what they trying to do is steal the legacy of Africa as being the most technically advanced civilization that ever existed on the planet. And I will give my Olmec ancestors all the credit that's due them for constructing the largest structures in the Americas and bringing civilization to the Americas. But to compare this to the pyramids of Egypt is almost criminal. It's almost criminal. But you see the Olmec head there, okay? Wait a minute. Let me show y'all the original style. Now that's pyramid is called Kalua. I think that's it right here. Kalula, okay? And this is the one that they say is the oldest pyramid. Now look at this. Now this is what been added to it, okay? Trying to fool you. Now that's the original right there. Look at that shit. You understand? This is the adage to fool you because they didn't rebuilt it up. But this is the original outer casing of that so-called pyramid. Do me a favor, please. I love my Olmec ancestors, but please don't ever, 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 ever compare this to the ancient Egyptian structure. Okay, do not do that. And see, this is confusion. You know what I'm saying? Because most people look up there and thinking that's the original. No, that's not the original. So in reality, all they got, see that? They built that up there. They built that up there. That shit was not there. That's not the original structure. This is the original structure right here. So if you really, it's nothing but the dirt mound. It's nothing but the dirt mound, and you do have some passageways up under there. You understand what I'm saying? But as far as that's concerned, if you go inside of Giza and see, the Great Pyramid, the inside of it, there is no comparison. Okay, and so again, proven hands down. Don't have to go no further on this one. Proven hands down, and I'm gonna come over here and show that I've studied under the greatest. I studied under Ivan Van Sertima. I studied under Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark. Studied under Walter Williams. You understand what I'm saying? I done studied all the best references from Ivan Van Sertima. I even studied Runoko Rashidi, and I went myself. You understand? After almost 17, 18 years of study. Matter of fact, I went to Mexico after 19 years of study. And I had already went to Egypt 3 times, had already did 19 years under Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Ivan Van Sertima. So I was a highly advanced researcher at that time. You know what I'm saying? I've been a highly advanced researcher for over 30 years now, okay? And so I've been to Palenque, been to the National Museum, Olmecs. You see me right there. Been to Uxmal. I just showed you what it looked like before. And I give credit what credit is due. This is not a pyramid for anybody. It's a large structure indeed, but guarantee you it's a dirt mound up under it. So it's a dirt mound supported structure. And many of them dirt mound supported structure, after they're there for so long, shit, the goddamn weeds start. If you leave that motherfucker there, the weeds start sprouting all up through that motherfucker. So that shit is very disingenuous. I've been to Chichen Itza, right there. I seen the columns that's in there, and I ended up in Ethiopia. The ancestors brought me a full circle to find an Olmec head in Ethiopia because the nation of Mexico supported Ethiopia during the invasion of the Italians. They spoke up at the UN for Ethiopia during this, traumatic time. And so based on this relationship, the Mexican government sent this to Ethiopia as a symbol of friendship. So you would think this was in the Americas, but it's not. This is in Addis Ababa. And it looked like that's exactly where it belongs. You understand what I'm saying? It looks like that's exactly where it belongs because there's many Africans walking around in Ethiopia that look just like that statue today. So again, for the main points of today is that Egypt is comes up out of Ethiopia. Okay, and so there's no way for you to steal Egypt without stealing the whole of the Nile Valley. We're going to show as I go into the next video, and I had to separate because I don't want to go on. And this is going to be a different expression of going into different areas, but it's going to add on to what we was talking about today on this particular video. Are the Mayan pyramids older than the ancient Egyptian pyramids? And the answer is an astounding no. Astounding no. The father of Mayanism, and if you hear any Aboriginal, Moor, or any of them say that the Mayan pyramids and Mayan civilization is older than the Egyptian civilization, then they're Mayanists. And the fathers of Mayanism is Augustus Laplangian, look his ass up, and Albert Churchward. But they wrote too early, before the Olmecs was discovered and came on the scene and blew, and even without the Olmecs, you could have blew the moose shit clean into the ocean where it belonged. You see what I'm saying? But this was before the Olmecs was even discovered, and when the Olmecs was discovered, it was shown that they was thousands of years older than the Mayan. So it's really it's really a waste of time to discuss whether the Mayan pyramids are older than the Egyptian pyramids when the Olmec pyramids is older than the Mayan pyramid, and that the Mayans learn how to build their pyramids from the Olmecs, who brought the knowledge from ancient Egypt and Nubia and the Nile Valley. You understand what I'm saying? They brought that from the Nile, and though they had a different style, you can explain the style of the Americas by way of Egypt and Nubia because it's such a lesser architectural technology. Okay, it don't take much. Motherfucker, get you a dirt mound, take as many buckets as you can, and then build the masonry on the outside. But it's an inferior technology, and that's why, again, when you go to all them damn American structures, you're gonna find all type of weeds and shit, the weeds busting up through the damn blocks and shit, because first and foremost, it's not a self-standing structure. You understand what I'm saying? It's not a self-standing structure, dirt up under there, and then the stones are very small stones. They're not smooth blocks or smooth bricks like you see on the Egyptian pyramids and mastaba even today. You see what I'm saying? When you go, if you're a mason and you go buy bricks, you go buy geometrically even bricks. They got a certain geometrical length on all sides, and it's standard. Matter of fact, they got a standard for bricks. You understand what I'm saying? That where, it's certain standard, but they got to be, to the Masonic levels or the Masonic council or the standards of the United States or whatever country that you in. You just can't create bricks how you want them, motherfuckers. Okay, they got standards to that. And so the standards from that was set in ancient Egypt is the ones that they're using all over the world right now today. Okay, so let me come on up out of here. 9:30. 9:30, family. 9:30. How my family doing out there today? How we do? Let me go over here. How we do? How we do, family? I want y'all to stay in there with me now, because I'm going to go over and believe me, it's profound. It's profound, family. I want y'all to go right on over into the Nubian with me. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to stay, tight with the timing. You understand what I'm saying? But it's going to connect right with this one. But it's going to show you a lot of different information that was not shown that's to Egypt, to Nubia, showing the origin of Egypt in Nubia. and showing you the ancient tombs of Nubia to explain Egypt that nobody else can steal. So the time is up for Negroes, false Negroes, Aboriginal Negroes, thieving, Arab Negroes, and all these other kind of Negroes. You understand? Trying to steal the history of Egypt. You understand? Steal our legacy and put up a blatant lie. We know our history. We technologically advanced, historically, intellectually, spiritually advanced today. You cannot lie to the family no more. Tell the goddamn truth. Okay? Tell the goddamn truth. All right, family. Give me 5 minutes. Let me get some water in my body. And I'm coming right back at y'all because I'm hot and I don't want to lose that fire. See you real soon. Black Power.